The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency says Nigeria will no longer accept from donor countries COVID-19 vaccines with short shelf life. On the heels of the expiration of about 1 million COVID-19 vaccines, the health agency assures the public that no Nigerian will be administered an expired vaccine. The expired vaccines are expected to be destroyed publicly after due deliberations with the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control and the Ministry of Environment.
Due to vaccine scarcity in the past, we had previously been accepting vaccines with short shelf lives from international donors in order for us to quickly use and provide some level of protection against the disease. Under those conditions, we saw federal, state, and local government health personnel working diligently to ensure all vaccines are utilized before expiration. So far, we have administered over 10 million doses of short shelf life vaccines without expiration. No person in Nigeria has ever and will ever be vaccinated with expired vaccines. The general public needs to be clear on the fact that we have never and will never allow any expired COVID-19 vaccines to be used in Nigeria.
Well, what are the diplomatic implications of Nigeria's demand? For an insight, we're joined from our Lagos studio by Associate Professor Efem Ubi, Acting Director of Research and Studies at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. Glad to have you join me on the program, Efem Ubi. Just like I asked that question, what are the diplomatic and otherwise implications of Nigeria's request? Ban
Thank you for
the red list issue.
There are a lot of implications, by inserting Nigeria into the red list. And I'm very sure, what has happened shouldn't have happened, because when you look at the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, whether it's COVID-19 or the new variant, the Omicron variant, it's not man-made. It's a pandemic that is universal. Now, placing Nigeria on the red list is actually not really good for international relations. And so what UK has done, it's kind of discriminatory, and I think everybody has actually condemned that. And the implication is that I think, like the government has said, it will also reciprocate as at when due and appropriately. You can listen, we all heard the Minister of Aviation, what he said, The question is, if you're putting Nigeria on the red list, you're allowing your citizens, both UK citizens and Irish, to go back, and you now place a ban on Nigerians who don't have a resident permit, who are travelers, and most of them are business people. That affects international trade. So there are a lot of areas that this ban, travel ban on Nigeria will affect. Trade is there. Those who are going for businesses and other issues, that are, that has implication for economic growth, per se, and also have diplomatic implication will occur, and that is not really good for the two countries. I think it's high time that the British government decides, to lift that ban, or like the government said, we are going to reply appropriately as at when due, which is, I'm sure, in the next few days or few weeks, it's going to happen.
All right, Efem, we'll get there, where UK is reconsidering their decision. But some Nigerians, from the arguments I have been engaged with, are saying that UK did not give Nigeria any leeway to either say no or yes. But Nigeria is giving UK and some of the other countries a week while engaging, according to the minister, with UK, with UAE. What's your sense of this 1 week of not going out to either ban UK flights as well and place them on red list, like they've done outrightly, immediately, without consultations?
Yeah, a lot of Nigerians too have asked me that question. But like I said, when it has to do with foreign policy action or inaction, it's not, those decisions are not taken ad hocly. They are not instanter. They have to be, you have to weigh the cost benefit. You have to look at how it's going to affect Nigeria's national interest, how it's going to affect our national security, how it's going to affect our trade and all that. So you have to look at those implications before any action is taken. And aside that, if it's going to be in 1 week, it has been said, I don't think there's anything serious, we should complain about. I think the government knows when to take action at the appropriate time. Because it has been said we will take action as at when due, and an appropriate action, that will actually match what the UK has done to Nigeria. In fact, if you notice, if you've heard, a lot of countries too have placed Britain on the red list. Australia, China, Taiwan, Suriname, Falkland Island, and all the other countries have done that. I don't think we can't do that. We will do it as at when due, when we are ready. I think maybe there are ongoing discussions, there are ongoing negotiations. I think we have to listen to them and negotiate and see what happens within this 1 week.
All right. Well, I'm just gathering that UK wants to scrap the red list, and also is reconsidering, like I said earlier, their stance to keep Nigeria on the red list. Well, you're aware that the UN Secretary General called it travel apartheid, and the Archbishop of Canterbury, Welby, also kicked against what UK did, what the Boris Johnson's administration did. Do you think that these statements from these men has anything at all to do with the action that the British government is now tinkering with?
Yes, it has a whole lot of things to do with the actions of recent, what Britain is thinking of, First of all, if you look at the ban, it's just mostly African countries. And no wonder the United Nations, call it apartheid, and other countries have look at it as discriminatory. Even Nigeria, it was discriminatory. First, you had 21 cases. The 21 cases, you said, are those who had transit from Nigeria. You had 21 cases, we had less than 21 cases, and you're putting us in a red list. Who should put the other on a red list? I think these are things both countries have to look at. Britain should understand that the mere fact that they had 21 Omicron variant in Britain, and we had just a few, maybe as at the time, when that happened, we had just a few, not up to 10, and you now put Nigerian, you place a ban on Nigerian travel. I think that is really not right. I think there must be some undertone behind that ban. And even though they are giving excuses for public health security, we also need public health security. We are allowing your flight to come, your citizens to come. Your citizens will come and leave. And that is actually not good for Nigeria too, because it has implications for public health security. And so I think, like the government said, 1 week, if they don't do, they are going to take the actions. They're going to ban flights that comes in from Britain, and that's fine. I think that's another way to look at it. Reciprocity in international relations, it's not bad. And aside that, what Britain has done is really not right, because this is science. Much recently, a lot of world leaders are talking about science for life. Why are we not looking at science for life? Why are we not wavering intellectual property rights, for vaccine, so that a lot of countries will produce vaccines instead of banning countries from coming in? That will not actually stop the variant from spreading, or stop the virus from spreading.
If I let you go, the federal government is saying we're not going back on our action concerning the Emirates. Do you think that Nigeria is finally living up to its billing as the giant of Africa? Just very briefly, 30, 45 seconds.
Nigeria has always lived up to its billing as a giant of Africa. You know, I don't think, you know, when you say we're not, you know, a lot of people complain we're not doing right, Nigeria is not doing anything right. I don't think that is true. We've really done a whole lot for Africa. We've done a whole lot for the region, and we're also doing a whole lot at the multilateral level. And so I think with Nigeria, you know, giving a warning to Britain, I think it shows that we know what we want. We are a sovereign nation. We have our own territorial integrity to maintain. We have our own national security to maintain. We have our public health security to maintain. I don't think we are doing anything less. We are doing what it takes to be a great nation, and we are a great nation.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Nigeria Great Nation, Efem Ubi, Director of Research at the Nigeria Institute of International Affairs. Thank you for your contributions on the program.